Although Superman might be arriving on home media very soon, a complete catalog of Man of Steel related home media products are available for your consumption. Hey everyone, Joe here from the Collection Compass, and welcome to our Man of Steel home media showcase. So we are going to present all of the Man of Steel home media product you can purchase right now. And just to clarify, this is the 2013 Zack Snyder film. This is not just another anagram for the currently new DC Studios Superman. Those are two separate products. Just want to make it out there, considering the fact we are releasing this piece of content the same time period as the Superman DVD, Blu-ray, Steelbook jazz. So just to clarify that before anyone says otherwise, but just in case. So if you are unaware, we just posted our official movie review for Man of Steel over on ActionX if you want to hear my full thoughts on the Man of Steel film that came out back in 2013. But conveniently enough, even for a film that's 12 years old, they did make quite a bit of home media official release in America, obviously. I know there's a lot of others from the other spheres, but I'm talking about American release home media products, which included the original wave, and then the selective re-releases that came out since then. So with that being said, let's get down to it, to the Man of Steel catalog, which isn't that much, but there's still a good bit to talk about. Now, before going into the actual first thing I want to physically show you, the Man of Steel DVD, that's the 2-disc special edition. There was a single disc edition for anyone who had wanted to just get the film on the disc. That's it. Because this was the turning point for how modern DVDs are produced, where nowadays you just get the movie on the DVD and that's it. No special features, nothing. So with the release of this film, they did give a 2-disc special edition version where you get a second disc which included all of the special features they had relatively available for the picture, and they abbreviated it as such. So there were 2 different versions. So they're essentially the same exact cover, except the only thing you're getting differently is you get no special features, you just get the movie. Now, I have never personally seen the single disc edition out there. It did exist. The only thing different is just the posters a bit more wider because they no longer have the bar. But otherwise than that, yeah, you're just getting the movie. Hopefully it was a bit cheaper. Otherwise, I can't recall, because this was still at the time period where my father was still purchasing my stuff. So I don't quite remember how much he spent at the very end of the day. But I do remember that still costs a pretty penny with these new age DVDs. Now, to get into it, this is the sleeve version. Probably if you're buying this now on the aftermarket, probably most companies don't have the sleeve anymore, but mine does. I'm usually a big fan of the sleeves, just in case I can flip them around if I want to. But to talk about the sleeve here for a little bit, yeah, it's a bit of a higher gloss than the actual DVD cover itself. This is a DVD exclusive poster. I don't quite remember if this was ever used for the theatrical run on top of my head. Then we get the side profile, which is just Man of Steel. Very bold. There definitely was following the Dark Knight example of like not calling the main hero by their main hero name, but at least you can recognize it to it. And on this particular slip cover, it just advertises the digital accessibility you have for this film, which again, at this time, you could get digital codes to bring your movies with you, and it does include the special features that is present on the special features disc, which includes stronger characters, legendary roles, all that action, and more. I'm not sure how many special features are on there. I know there's a good handful of it, but you know, not too familiar on that, to be completely honest with you on it. Then you move into the actual DVD of it. Same thing as the slipcover, except now the digital promotion is replaced by the actual filmography selections. And something that I did want to take a look at a second before I get into it. These are the discs. They're with the black symbol of the House of L. This being the DVD and this one being special features. Just to point it out simply, I remember this era of DVD collection where they had these little bookets, which is additional merchandising from the Noble collection. I'm not sure if they're still around anymore, but I remember these from the Harry Potter side of things, where if you got one of these little things, you can actually go to the website and purchase related props and merchandising or recreation from the movie. So for example, you get the Star Grail, which I believe was a MacGuffin, which no, this was the ship that Kal-El came in, the Codex Skull, a money clip for $29.50. That freaking red S better have been like premium redness. I got nothing on that. A wall plaque, which honestly is pretty cool if you're a symbol collector. The command key necklace. the command keychain, depending on how you want to advertise Kal-El's key. This one, which honestly I thought this was really cool at the time, the Man of Steel ring, which is in sterling silver with the symbol, but for $145, yikes. And a command key pen if you want to, as well as in the back for outside of Man of Steel product, but still within the Superman family. You got a bronze statue of Superman for $400, a sterling pennant of just the generic Superman logo, to kind of, to advertise the other products that they had at the time. So this was really cool, and I really wish I had gotten some of these things, especially that ring. That ring would have been really pretty cool to own. But again, I had no monies at the time. I had no money. So then moving on over to the rest of the original home media wave that came out in the fall of 2013, you have then the Blu-ray, which on this particular cover, this has Superman flying up into the sky with the big emblem and the logo front and center. It's a pretty cool thing. Kind of makes Superman feel a little small, trying to really advertise that, very big boldy S that he's now wearing on his suit. And that comes just with the same things with the 2-disc special edition with the special features as well in Blu-ray quality of 720p. Then moving into Blu-ray 3D, which honestly is the first time I'm talking about this. This was such a fad in the mid 2010s where like 3D movies were a big thing. They were making 3D versions of every single big feature film, and there was a way for you to own it for yourself. If you have a Blu-ray 3D TV compatibility, you can watch the movie in full 3D at home with the 3D disc. This is just being Superman staring up into the horizon, front facing to us as the audience, and Man of Steel 3D, which honestly I guess someone could just crop out the D and just say there was a Man of Steel 3. And I remember there was a lot of confusion as a kid. I remember when I got Shrek 3D and I thought that was going to be Shrek 3, and it was technically original new footage, but I got really confused because they didn't really advertise it pretty well for a kid, to be completely honest with you about that. Then at last we have the Blu-ray 3D limited edition collector's pack. Now this is a big metal tin shaped in the format of the Superman S from the movie, and as well as on the inside you get these little cool sleeves that comes with one of the discs, and it comes with each of the special features, the movie itself in the different formats, obviously the Blu-ray 3D version. And honestly at the time, again, this is one of those things that it probably was a Walmart exclusive, because for some reason Walmart usually picks up and has the space for these collector's editions. This is really freaking cool. This really is. I really wish I could have picked this up for this video, but sadly because of my financial means right now, I just do not have the budget to bring this up. But however, this looks superbly cool, like really, really cool. Like, again, this is one of those things where, like, if I had a special shelf for physical media stuff, this would be on there, because this is so freaking cool. Like, damn, like you get to hold the S itself, you get to really like have a cool compartment case. This is awesome. This is really, really awesome. And then moving into 2016, where after the original home media wave came and went, they went straight into the 4K re-releases. As the time 4K discs were starting to become more and more popular, they were starting to be more of a bigger thing, so they re-released it in 2016, a 4K version of it. They did reuse the Blu-ray cover, which again is not the worst thing in the world, so at least you can own Man of Steel from a 4K perspective, so that you can have it for your collection. And then finally, the last official Man of Steel related home media product, which was the Man of Steel Blu-ray Steelbook. I'm going to show them in separate components, but for the time being, this is for me the premium version of the film, starting with the slipcover. This was a different time period. You can tell how ancient this is. They just did this Blu-ray plus digital, none of the fancy additions that they do before. The logo of the film for any top loader collectors, and the back, which is the special features I listed before from the 2-disc special edition physical copy that I own, and then just utilizing the theatrical poster segment and then some stills from the movie itself just to advertise that. And then going into the Grail, which is the Man of Steel Jim Lee style steelbook, which honestly this looks so flippin' cool. Not going to front, this looks amazing. This really, really does. If you don't know who Jim Lee is, he is a comic book artist. He has done, he is probably the modern day artist for DC characters. He is the go-to person for this. So this is his interpretation of Henry Cavill's Superman in his art style, where you get him, I'm presumably standing on a debris of Krypton, Earth over there, the moon over there, and then Krypton's destruction with his ship flying over here. This is really, really cool. Not gonna lie to you, this is a Blu-ray only steelbook, as I was trying to find a 4K edition, but it does not exist. So if you want to, your best bet was to just probably buy a 4K disc, put it in there, but there's nothing you can really do about the Blu-ray logo they printed on there. And then the back is a black and white style of it, which honestly looks really, really cool. I will say probably was maybe like a cheap way to like kind of get one piece of art and stretch it out to two different editions of it. And on the inside, you get the Blu-ray disc and the special features Blu-ray disc version of it. This was to promote the Justice League movie that was coming out at the time, so this was a 2017 release to get ready for Justice League. They released a whole line of it, which I believe he did continue onwards beyond it, at least until Aquaman, which we'll talk about much later on in the future. And then the inside side, C and D, is his shot where we got from the DVD of him standing stoically as he's about to embark on his first flight in the suit itself. Really cool shot from the movie, so I will give them a pass, even though it's just a cape on this side. I will give them a pass. This is workable. I've been very much of a critique with side C and Ds when it comes to steelbooks, so I will give them a pass on this particular edition. When it comes to Man of Steel as a film, that's a whole nother conversation that you can again go see on our movie review officially on Action X. But when it comes to the home media release, I was actually surprised they didn't put a lot more than this, considering how integrated the DCU has become into the 2010s specifically for DC as a brand. I was very surprised they didn't do more re-releases in the 12 years. Now again, it's been 12 years, but then again, when you compare it to other companies, like they would often find excuses to do reprints and repackagings and stuff along the nature of it. So for Man of Steel not to get that is a bit puzzling in my opinion. I was expecting there to be a boatload, but I mean, heck, I did mention about 6 different home media editions, and that's not including all the other ones from different companies that are international, foreign, overseas that you could also purchase for yourself. With this particular one specifically, the DVD, I still remember buying it in Target back in 2013. It was, again, a different era. I didn't see the film in theaters, so this was my way of seeing it for the first time. And then the Steelbook, which, oh man, it is a expensive piece of work. I still got this within the very base of my threshold I'm budgeting for steelbooks, so this was cheaper than most things you will see on eBay right now. However, it is still an expensive piece of steelbook, especially the Jim Lee one. There is another steelbook that was publicized, released by Walmart, which was a Blu-ray steelbook, which just had the logo and everything, so that does count towards, and that is also a Blu-ray steelbook, so there is technically no 4K Man of Steel steelbook official release in America. And considering the fact we are now officially pivoting to the DCU, then yeah, that's never gonna really happen anytime soon, sadly. That's just not something that we're going to be expecting to see anytime soon. And I think that's perfectly okay. To be honest with you, that doesn't really surprise me. You know, Man of Steel had its place in time. Obviously, this interpretation of Superman was very, very mishandled in terms of like what its impact could have been, again, being one of the big 3 superheroes in the world, and that's how it went. I don't know. I'm just stating to state the obvious. You know, I was expecting a little bit more from this. I mean, to be clear as day, if you are just looking for the film to own a physical edition, you don't care about the quality, obviously the one disc DVD will do for you. However, if you have your specifications, then there's obviously different variants to different degrees of quality in terms of what your standards is. But for me, if you want a definitive piece of physical media for this film, the Jim Lee edition is for you. Obviously, it's very limited. It's very difficult to purchase this because of the pricing alone. But for me, personally speaking, it was definitely worth it, and it was the last thing I needed to complete my DCU collection of steelbooks, excluding Peacemaker, which I don't think ever got a steelbook release. But regardless of that, this was a must-buy for me. For me personally, I would recommend the Blu-ray steelbook from the Jim Lee art standpoint for the definitive version of this film for any sort of collector's personal collection for DC films or Superman or however you want to buy it for your own thingamajig collections. I lost my standard on point here. Let me know down below, which edition of Man of Steel did you buy on physical media? Do you have mine? Do you have something else? I would love to talk to you about it. I would love to chat with you down below. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. Once again, if you want to see our official Man of Steel movie review, please go over to ActionX, where it's now live for your viewing consumption. If you want to see more showcases like this, please subscribe here to the Collection Compass for more cool videos such as this one. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, like, favorite, share if you want to. Ring that bell for when our next video is live. And of course, follow us on social media for more. But until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe out there. Be good to each other as always. Peace out.